If you're loving this podcast, be sure to check out the full lineup. From news and local politics to sports and true crime. Find your next great listen right now at duluthnewstribune.com/podcasts. That's duluthnewstribune.com/podcasts.
Hello, Northlanders. It's Thursday, June 8th. I'm Wyatt Buckner, the Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union's services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A federal judge denied a request to impose an injunction on the use of motorized towboats within the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, but said a limit on their use could be decided in an upcoming lawsuit. In a ruling filed Tuesday, United States District Judge Nancy Brazel said towboats can continue operating as is until a larger lawsuit is settled over an apparent increase in their use. That suit was brought by the group Wilderness Watch. Towboats are motorboats with racks that haul canoes, gear, and visitors from the edge of the BWCAW, usually into a second or third tier of lakes where they start their canoe trips where motors are not allowed. The judge had ordered Wilderness Watch and the United States Forest Service, which manages the BWCAW, to work out an agreement on towboat use before a trial is held. But the two sides so far haven't been able to agree on how much use is too much, and Brazel said she wouldn't make that ruling at this point. So far, no trial dates have been set. Wilderness Watch filed suit in February to limit towboats in the BWCAW and asked Brazel to decide before the 2023 open water season on a temporary court order banning all towboats until the lawsuit can be settled. Even if the judge had imposed a temporary limit on towboats, it would not have impacted anyone's permits to enter or canoe in the BWCAW, only whether they can start or end their trip with the help of a towboat. Motors have been banned on most BWCAW lakes since 1979, but are still allowed now on part or all of 17 lakes in the million-acre wilderness, mostly on that periphery. About 18 businesses, outfitters, and lodges now offer towboat services. The court case has rekindled a decades-old dispute over where and how many motors can be used in the BWCAW that had been mostly dormant recently. Minnesota resident adults can fish without licenses this weekend if they take children age 15 or younger along. Kids age 15 and younger do not require fishing licenses at any time of the year, though they must observe all fishing seasons and other regulations. Take a Kid Fishing Weekend, June 9th through 11th, allows adult Minnesotans to fish without a license as long as they take a child fishing with them. Minnesota residents also may generally fish in state parks without a fishing license if the body of water does not require a trout stamp. Don't have a boat? For anglers across Minnesota, the DNR has a map of piers and shore fishing sites at mndnr.gov/fishing_piers. Parking at these locations is generally located within 300 feet of the pier or shore fishing site, with a hard surface path from the parking area. Most are designed to meet the needs of people with disabilities. Dan Williamson now joins us with a special guest.
Thanks, Wyatt. I'm joined by one of our colleagues, the great Melinda Levine, Duluth News Tribune features reporter. And Melinda, there's a story you're working on for Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune. It's also a story we can find online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. And you were telling me this is about a popular puppet troupe up the shore. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, so up in Grand Marais, the Good Harbor Hill Players, they have a long legacy over 20 years of producing a summer solstice pageant. And this brings, it's like a huge turnout in Grand Marais, like over 1,000 people attend. And it's a huge community event that brings folks of all generations together to participate. They hold workshops for the weeks before the summer solstice show, and people of all ages. You don't need any experience. You don't need to be artistic. You can participate any way that you want. People are learning how to make paper mache sculptures, and they're painting, and it's just a real community enriching and community building event that's been going on for decades. It started as a small winter solstice ceremony in the mid 80s, and slowly that evolved into like a big winter solstice event at Betsy Bowen's farm. And then in 1999, around the same time that the North House Folk School got a location, that's when the summer solstice event happened, and the North House Folk School has hosted this event ever since.
Melinda, as far as takeaways go, what was your biggest takeaway from this story?
One of the founders of the event is Jim Orway, who is behind the Magic Smelt Parade in Duluth. And this is the first year that he and the other two founders, Barb Levine and Betsy Bowen, are not involved. And one of the takeaways is just kind of the passing of the torch, like this legacy, this really community-driven event with people at the helm. The community has taken over this like really large effort because it's so important to them. It's a tradition for this community, and people come from all over to watch it. And just like talking to 15-year-olds talking about how they've been in the show since they were 3, like talking about them playing little beavers and little bees from early on, and kind of growing with it, and getting over stage fright and kind of stepping into leadership roles. And because of this event that they've participated in, it was just the heart of the community. A part of it is wrapped up in this project.
And for our audience, what do you hope they take away from this story?
The joy in the simplicity. I'm going to link to past performances of the summer solstice pageant online on our website. Watching this, you can really see the simplicity. Like there's like a band playing, and there's people like moving puppets and performing in costumes, and everything is so wholesome, and nobody's on their screens. Everyone's engaged and like oohing and aahing together, and like the lake is behind them. It just looks so magical and dreamy. And if readers are interested, the show is coming up on June 17th at 8 p.m. in Grand Marais. So it is like a little trip, but it looks like it's a trip that may be worth it.
Yeah, agreed. Mark your calendars for that one. Melinda, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Dan.
And again, you can find Melinda's story in Saturday's print edition of the Duluth News Tribune. You can also find it online prior at duluthnewstribune.com. Wyatt, back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to you by the Superior Telegram's history podcast, Archive Dive.
Good Thursday, Duluth. High temperatures around 67 degrees with partly cloudy skies. A wind still from the east, about 5 to 15. Overnight tonight, mostly clear down to 47 chilly degrees. As we start off your Friday, partly cloudy skies and a brief warm-up up to near 80 degrees, and especially warmer away from the lakefront. On Saturday, we'll be tracking a cold front that will bring a chance for some rain showers, especially in the first half of the day. Temperatures falling back to around 60 degrees by the afternoon, with a little bit more wind to follow it. Mostly sunny and still near 60 on Sunday. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jesse Ritka.
Thank you to Archive Dive for their support. The monthly history podcast, hosted by Superior Telegram reporter Maria Lockwood, dips into the archives of historic events, people, and places around Superior and Douglas County. You can find the latest episode of Archive Dive at superiortelegram.com or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by John Myers and Melinda Levine. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.